You jibber jab, bamboozle, nuka, noozle, bippity bop, sheagle. You jibber jab, bamboozle, nuka, noozle, bippity bop, sheagle. I mean, you keep on talking, but you don't know where to.
Good evening and welcome. I'm John Caldera, president of the Independence Institute. You're watching Independent Thinking. And by the way, I'm a very, very brave man. I decided to wear my violet-colored shirt. No matter how much razzing I get from the men around the table, I still think it's very, very manly. And to counter that, some folks who weren't very manly to come on this program. Tonight we're going to talk about Amendment 49. I need to give you a precursor to this. Amendment 49 is something that I've been pushing. It's also been something that the Independence Institute has been doing a lot of educational work on. There's an issue committee called Ethical Standards Now. I've been involved with that. My original thought for this was to have a debate on this. You might recall a couple weeks ago we had a debate here on Channel 12 with the Rocky Mountain News and Channel 4 where my opponent, Jess Knox, from Protect Colorado's Future, just before the show decided to decline and not show up. We thought it'd be a good opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with anyone on the opposing side right here on this show. Now, I understand this is my show and that can be a little intimidating. What we decided to do was offer folks to come on one-on-one, not two-on-one, even one-on-one. So we contacted Protect Colorado's Future. They, of course, declined. Jess Knox, of course, declined. We tried to get as many organizations that have been vocal about this and offer them an invitation to come and talk about this position with me one-on-one, including the Fraternal Order of Police that has come out and put some money against this. They refused to come on and talk about it. Mike Serbo, we contacted. He's from the AFL-CIO, one of the unions that doesn't like this proposal. He wouldn't come out. We called the SEIU, which is a Service Employees International Union. They've been working against this. They wouldn't come out. And of course, an organization called Colorado Wins, which is an organization of several unions that have been working to bring collective bargaining and get state employees and others to join their respective unions. They wouldn't come out. The reason I give you this lengthy precursor is I want you to know we really did try. I wanted very much to have a conversation about Amendment 49, the Ethical Standards Initiative, but not only on this show, but also on other KBDI Channel 12 shows, they did not want to talk with me about it, even when they confirmed they'd be happy to debate me. So instead, you get the very lovely and talented Ben DeGrow, a policy analyst from the Independence Institute. You've seen him here many times. Glad to have you back.
Thanks.
And we thought since teachers are being affected, so we hear in all these advertisements and well-funded hit pieces, and we'd go to Jefferson County and talk to one of our teachers, Mike Alcorn, who is, now how long have you been at Jeffco?
18 years.
18 years. What do you teach?
I teach instrumental music.
Instrumental music?
Yes, band.
Band. All right, now I can understand that. What grades?
5th and 6th.
How you like it?
I love it. I love teaching music.
Why do you do what you do?
Because I decided a long time ago that I thought the most important thing that I could possibly do was teach. And I love music. I love children. And this gives me an opportunity to share my two passions. And so for 18 years now, I've taught at high school level, I've taught middle school level, and I teach at elementary school right now because that's where it all begins. And plus the schedule's a lot more family friendly.
I mean, you can sleep in an extra hour.
No, I can't sleep in an extra hour. It just means that I don't go back to school at night 3 nights a week.
Oh, to do band practice.
Yes.
Got it. You ought to talk to your union about that. All right, let's talk a little bit about Amendment 49. Amendment 49 is a constitutional amendment. It merely says that government will no longer be able to funnel money to special interests, including unions and also non-union organizations, through people's payrolls, like your paycheck. That if an organization wants to get money from their members, they're going to have to do it like every other group does. They're going to have to ask that member. Let's bring it over here to Ben. Give me the details. You can go ahead and be wonkish here for a minute. I'll let you be yourself. What does 49 do?
Thanks for the indulgence and letting me be wonkish, John. I appreciate it. Essentially, Amendment 49 is a ban on what government can and cannot do as far as using the payroll system. So we have state government, local governments collect money through their payroll systems from employee paychecks. They take the money, they bundle it up. Usually once a month, they deliver the money onto a political special interest group. Quite often it's a union, sometimes it's a professional association, or it could be some other politically active group. All Amendment 49 says is we're going to create one fair ethical standard for the state of Colorado. Governments cannot use their payroll systems to be doing collections work for private groups. It says private groups, if you want to lobby, if you want to be active politically, great, you have the same rights as everybody else, but don't expect our governments to be the middleman for that transaction.
For me, the whole idea is pretty simple in that governments are supposed to represent all of us. They're not supposed to give a special favor to one group that comes back and lobbies them. They're not supposed to go out there and say, yeah, I'm going to raise money for you. You can do your collections here. You don't have to do it. Now, there are a lot of groups down under the Gold Dome here that try to get their political voices heard. You know, whether it's the Farm Bureau, the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce, the NFIB, all groups that have endorsed this proposal, by the way, they have to go to their members and say, can I please have my money so I can represent your views down at the Capitol? They have to go to their members. But some groups, including many unions and a lot of non-union groups as well, merely go to the government. The government runs the money for them. They don't have to hire a banker. They don't have to hire an accountant. They don't have to hire collection agencies. They get it done at taxpayer expense. How wild is this? How pervasive?
It's going on in city governments. It's going on in many county governments, although there are 12 county governments in Colorado who have enacted ethical standards and have stopped the practice, which is a precedent for what Amendment 49 proposes to do. But here's a great example. You talk about accounting, the accounting work. Mm-hmm. Now this isn't even a fraction of the whole report. I told my colleague at the office to stop printing before we killed a whole forest. But this is the school district printing out an accounting report monthly that they're sending to a private organization. In this case, it's the teachers union, that says this is how much money we're taking from each paycheck.
This is from what school district? And this is only a fraction.
Just an example, I believe it's Adams County. I believe Adams County.
So Adams County, for instance, I can tell that Karen Birch here, I got her employee number, that she paid her union dues through her event, through her paycheck. And so this accounting, along with a check, goes to the union every month to say, here's your payment, here are the people who paid, you don't have to do any of the dirty work, now you can go ahead and lobby us.
Right, so government on our dime is not only doing the collections work for a private group, it's also doing the accounting work for a private group. And Amendment 49 just says, look, the private group can handle that itself. We don't need government time and resources going to do that work for them.
Let me just show a picture. This, I think, helps explain it. So government workers join groups. That's terrific. They should have a right to join any group they want. But instead of passing a check to that group, they have government funnel the money at taxpayer expense and bundle it up. Let's take a look at, for instance, your school district. Here's a check from Jefferson County School District. It's a mild check. It's only about $230,000. Now, it says void there because it's a photocopy of it, but we got that on a FOIA or CORA request. We have a Freedom of Information request. Here's a check going to a school, going to a union. So now this is a government that's supposed to represent the parents and kids of that school district. That money that is used not just for not the money on the check, but the check itself, the staff time, the accounting time, that's time and money and effort that should be going to kids. So let me bring it over to you. This is your school district. These are guys who should be worrying about taking care of the kids you teach and maybe even taking care of you, but really what they're doing is they're funneling $230,000 in a government check to the union. Okay by you?
Oh, it's not great. I understand that perhaps back when this system was enacted, that might have been easier on everybody and it might have been simpler. But what it has ended up doing for teachers is I think it puts because of all the accounting that has to go into it, it creates barriers to our ability to dictate what happens to our money. For instance, in Jefferson County, there is an exactly 2-week window in which a person who is a member of the union can say, I don't wish to be a member of the union anymore. Please stop deducting dues from my paycheck. That period of time this year was from September 1st to September 15th. So for instance, as a teacher, if I suddenly read the newspaper on October 2nd and I notice the quarterly fundraising reports from candidates and from issues, and I noticed that the Jefferson County Education Association has given an exorbitant amount of money to something that I don't support, and I say to myself, I don't want to be giving my money to Jefferson County Education Association anymore, it's too late. I'm stuck. I have to continue paying those dues until September 1st of the following